Again, we continue the teaching and reflect the teachings and words of the great master Vajra Armor, as gracious teacher Buddha taught, and as well as practiced by all those great practitioners and great practices, all great masters, they practice and reach enlightenment. So we are following that footstep in that same passage, that, and then reactivating or trying to catch up or trying to let clarifications on our practice and meditation. So that's what really we're doing. Again, with all that reasons, we should strengthen our joy and appreciations in the Bodhicitta thought, and to all living beings that I'm going to reflect of the teaching because I like to benefit for all living beings, to remove their suffering and difficulties, or to remove their cause of suffering truth and the suffering truths, and bring totally there to the enlightenment status, or totally peace and happiness, the ultimate goal or desire of every living being. So I really like to bring it there. For that reason, that I'm going to practice, meditate, and activating of the teaching. Those are intention. With that intention, then now we go to our the teachings. And today again we are continuing on this topic, which is as lay out as like first noble, second noble, and third noble. And even though it is kind of first, the second, and third, in reality they all connected. It's not something that is totally different from each other's. All is revealing, every point is revealing our innate true nature, our positive attitude and thought, and kindness, compassion that is reflected to all beings, directly, indirectly. That's what the teaching is all about. So now, with that frame, again, we discussed those first motivation or the first novel, a little bit kind of extensively, and very slowly, and that. And now we're going in the middle of that, the principal novel. Principal novel is the principal practices. And then again, in that case, what we say is like, actually in the Bodhisattva teaching, it is actualizing bodhicitta, or actualizing bodhisattvas, or actualizing bodhicitta, actualizing bodhicitta. And that is really what it is. And how do you actualize the bodhicitta? In the teaching says through the 6 paramitas. Again, these 6 paramitas is not something completely different from each other. All connected, all are lined up. As we discussed the other day, everything one after another is really connected. Even one single paramita contains all 6 paramitas. So it's not different. Reality. And now that way we went among the 6 paramitas, the first paramita, generalist paramitas. Today we are in a morality paramita, or Shila paramitas. Shila paramita is the principal part of the practices of the bodhisattvas. Once you develop the bodhicitta, then you practice the Shila paramitas. Shila paramita, as I said, and you all know, it can be divided into 3 sections. 3. That Shila paramita, or the morality paramita, that way avoiding all the negativities. That is number 1. Second is morality that while gathering all the virtues. That means what? Virtues. Dharma. All the Dharma, all the teachings that are gathering. Where? To our mind streams, to our knowledge, to our understanding. Bring that beautiful treasure of the teaching into the spotlight of our own mind or knowledge. Gathering. And then third morality. The first is avoiding all the negativities. Second morality is gathering all the virtues or the dharmas. And the third is benefiting for all the living beings. Morality that will benefit for all living beings. Now you think, these three is known as like three moralities also, subdivision of the moralities. But reality, it encompasses entirely teaching, or teaching or the practices. Practice. It encompasses entirely teaching of this, the Jigdral Rinpoche's teaching. Entirely. That all is within these three moralities. In that sense, all the rest are paramitas. What that means, rest paramitas. The patient paramitas, joyful effort paramitas, concentration paramitas, wisdom paramitas, and generous paramita is all in this morality paramitas. That is really how complexity, how profound, how deep it is. It is. Now again, I will go over this. First is morality that will avoid all the negativities. That encompasses entire vows of the Buddha's teachings. Vows, Samayas. All the Vinaya, the basic Buddhist school Vinaya rules is within there. And Sutra Mahayana's vows, or Bodhisattva vows, within there. And Vajrayana vows, or Samayas, within that first, the moralities. Morality that will avoid all the negativities. All the negativities, directly, indirectly. And first morality of the Vinaya teaching. What is teachings? Avoiding all the negative action, negative activities, directly, indirectly to all the living beings. That is essence of the first vows or the Vinaya vows. Essence. Essence, that's it. Avoiding harmful actions. Negativity that will hurt others directly, indirectly. Why I'm saying hurt others? Because Mahayana is based upon compassion. Bodhicitta is based absolutely on the compassion and loving kindness and wisdoms. Therefore, we discussed even taking refuge in the Mahayana. Primary purpose is compassion. Or primary cause of the taking refuge is compassion. That is a specialty of the Mahayanas. Mahayana has two Mahayana. Sutra Mahayana, Vajrayana Mahayana. So it's all compassion. Therefore, avoiding negativities, directly, indirectly to all the beings. That also, of course, indicated to you, or to ourselves too. Because we have to be strong, we have to be more well-equipped to help, benefit, and grow ourselves so we can be really well-prepared, well-grown up, built up the strength to benefit for all the beings. Therefore, this is the one, the Vinaya guidelines are completely within this. Then Mahayana vows, always in the teachings, above the Theravada or above the Vinaya vows, basic Buddhist vow, above that, keeping that means keeping that, add one more, Sutra Mahayana vows, and benefiting, performing the beneficial activities for all the living beings, directly, indirectly, by, again, bodhicitta, performing beneficial activities to benefit to every living being, directly, indirectly, according our capabilities. That encompasses entirely bodhicitta vows, or Bodhisattva vows. It encompasses everything. Now that. And above that, that means above the Vinaya vows, above the Bodhisattva vows, and Vajrayana vows. Seeing everything or realizing everything as in three Vajra states. Vajra form, Vajra sound, Vajra space or mind. Everything. All body, speech, mind of enlightenment. Body, speech, mind of enlightenment of Buddha is not just a kind of isolated one single groups from others. The entirely, what is in the world? And the teaching said, form, sound, space, and mind. That's it. There's nothing else. Form, sound, space, and mind. All forms are enlightened forms. And all the sounds are enlightened sounds. All the space, not all, space and mind is enlightened space. Enlightened, it's enlightened. It's wisdom, ordinary enlightened. It's not something that we're making this enlightenment because we are practicing. Because it's enlightened, we are revealing. That's what it is, according to the teaching. So that means that is the essence of the entire Vajrayana vows. So therefore, the first one, by avoiding all the negativities, directly, indirectly, of the morality, that encompasses entirely vows of the entire Buddha teachings. And vows of the Buddha teaching is based upon the human ethics or good ethics. Human ethics, generally Buddhism, is the foundation of the Buddha's ethics or guidelines, moralities. It's not something that Buddha taught us kind of completely different things separated from the tradition, good ethics, or characters of the world or the humans. It's not. The good ethics, good characteristics of the human world is the very foundation of the Buddha's moralities. And then what Buddha did? Buddha glorified that, more elaborated, more glorified, more liberated, so that we can stay on the strong, pure and clean, humble and simple, and move forward with full joy and appreciation and all those beautiful tools that really coming one after another, unfolding the treasures, are opening one after another. When you open one treasure of the mind, it opens another one, and opens another. Comes the treasure of the richness of the precious mind is just coming. And then what in the teaching said, when you reach higher realization, there's hundreds of doors of the realization, and the samadhi powers are unfolding one after another. Those are the teachings said. So that is what really it is. So with that understanding, now today I'm going to talk about these second moralities, which is gathering all the virtues. Morality, that gathering all the virtues that I'm translating. But as I said, virtues is Dharma, teaching. Good things. Good. It's good for me, it's good for the others. That means the others, for all the living beings. Not just a select group, others. All the beings is good. That morality we gather. That is the practicing of the Dharma. To gather it, to re-clarify, reactivate it, glorify. So it's saturated to our mind streams. That what Buddha reigns, it reigns in our heart, in our realization. It then really deepening and glorifying that. So that is gathering, one after another. Gathering. And what are those? Then gathering all the teachings of the basic Buddhist schools, Theravada teachings, Sutra Mahayana teachings, Vajrayana teachings, all gathered, one after another, continuing again. In a practical level, we're gathering and maintaining, keeping up those three extraordinary practices. Again, morality, concentration, and wisdoms. And more mental level, what we are keeping up. The bodhicitta, all is based upon the bodhicitta. Loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, and with that, we are doing accumulation merit, wisdom merit practices. Gathering those all things, whatever we can gather, just really build up, piled up, registered our subconscious storehouse, or registered our mental storage status, continually kind of building up that. And those are then known as, such as in the practical meditation level, start with mindfulness. Again, of course, the foundation is the bodhicitta. With mindfulness and shamatha practices, vipassana meditations, and in the Vajrayana teaching, known as the creation stage practices, completion stage practices, and that's supported by all the other tools of the paramitas, supported, activated, built up, so calm, so peacefully, so nicely, not clashing, not forcing back and forth, but just relaxing. Really, we are sailing the cruise ship of the enlightenment in the space of Dharma dhatus. And then advancing, continually activating that. That is known as gathering all the virtues and all the dharmas. So in this case, and according to His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche's teaching, here, start with this part. In the page 1, you look page 1 against it. And what's called? 7th line. What in the teaching said here? In the 7th line of this teaching. And do not mistaking about the result of the virtues and unvirtues. Here, this is the essence of the teaching, what I'm talking about, the moralities. Avoiding all the negativities. Morality, therefore, avoiding all the negativities. That is. And so this is, again, if we talk more about this, it's also karma, law of karma. Observing the karma and avoiding negativities. Negativity is started from our mental status. It's negative emotions. Negative emotions such is based upon grasping or ignorance and ego clinging. When that reflecting on the emotional level, then it's known as attachment, anger, jealous, arrogance, doubt and hesitations. Then it becomes combination of so many anxiety, worry, skeptical, that all unfold one after another. That is known as the beginning of samsaras. That is the beginning of the dilemma and confusion of samsaras. Samsara. So therefore, avoid from the cause, not trying to chase each of those emotions, but avoiding from the cause. The gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, pointed out so clearly. If we uproot from the mind, which is cause, it will uproot everything. Everything. So therefore, relax. All the tools of Buddha taught, mindfulness, self-strengthening, mindfulness, alertness, consciousness, all those tools used, trying to avoid. Avoid, not activating them. Even is mentally kind of bubbling there, but through the mindfulness, through the strength of our practice, not projecting that through the verbal and physical to the external, hurting someone and hurting one's own self. That is really that. So if we are able to do that, that means that we are good practitioners. sign of the practitioners is reaching the antidote at the time. At the time. Reaching the antidote at the time. Before it made a mess. Mess. That is good. In the Dzogchen teaching, one said, liberating as it arises. Liberating as it is arising from the mental state, right that spot, without any trace, without any imprint. If we can do that, that is sign of the practitioners. If we cannot do that, that means our practice is not so strong. So strong. Therefore, even that happened, even we couldn't do it at that very beginning, but then, again, another stage is not holding that. Let it go. It's not just saturated in the mental state or in the brain, kind of create a drop depressions, kind of hanging over again and again. That is the samsara, middle of the samsara now we are. Middle of the, we are creating karmas. And that is really just completely kind of blended in samsara now. Therefore, again, feel the strength of our meditation practice, reminder of what teaching we received, what we learned, apply that, and trying to let it go. Use the tools of all different things, such as excuse, forgive. Excuse and forgive. I forgive, you forgive. And excuse. Sorry to each other, or whatever. Use those all tools, which is in samsara is so powerful. It's famous, it's powerful too. Even though this is not named as a mantra, it's in a way a mantra. It's powerful. When you will say, sorry, excuse, I did mistakes, and forgive me, that if you say, it will light up, that we all know. Being as practitioners, we should not be stubborn, kind of maintaining on that, these things, and trying to insist it on our mistakes and ego-clinging activities. That is the habitual patterns. Reality, according to the correct teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching point of view, we are banging our own heads. Banging our head and creating more karmas. Negative karmas is not good karmas. Negative karma we create. So therefore, here, this is what teaching said here. Which not be mistaken about the result of the virtues and unvirtues. And then same way, virtues is then positives. That is again what I spoke in or what I said. I mean, not just I'm saying that, but in the teaching and the morality, gathering all the virtues. That is what it is. Kind of understanding, knowledge, the benefit, the power of the virtues. Activating that. Activating our simple, positive mind, or good heart, of compassion, loving kindness. Dharma is not something that has to be fancy and esoteric, difficult to understand, or have to be, no, I don't understand this much. It's simple. What great Master Padma Samye Ling said. Dharma is so simple. It's good heart. It's love. It's compassion. It's wisdom. Everybody knows that. Even the animals knows the value and the importance of love and the compassion. With that kind of settling quality of that we ever can have in our heart, in the mind, or in brain, and reflecting that. That is virtues. That is positive. And we combine that with mindfulness, then it becomes more practical, more powerful, more special. Mindfulness is generally also wisdom. It's wisdom. It's mind. So it's really guiding those beautiful motivations by mindfulness. So it becomes more practical, more sensible, more powerful, more effective to benefit to us and to the other beings. That is virtues. That is progress. So this is what? In that way, again, as I said, now you understand. I'm sure you understand, you can connect with that. That is really the first teachings of these moralities. The negative, avoiding all the negativities, gathering all the virtues. Then, when we have good those things, all such as beautiful motivation, joy, appreciation, bodhicitta, chitta, then what we need? Then this we needed, this one, the last line of this teaching. In particularly, devotion to the root teachers. Devotion is so important. Now let's say, for example, the beautiful garden. Beautiful garden, soil is prepared, the bodhicitta soil, bodhicitta ground, love and compassion, wisdom. You planted the really seed of the benefit thought for all the living beings. Or we planted the seed of the benefit thought for all living beings. Now you are watering all that things. But the devotion is warmth of sunlight. We need sunlight. It will warm us up. It will bring perfect growth, exactly what I needed. If every soil and everything perfect, if sunlight add with that, then it blooms. And that is known as blessings. Blessing is like sunlight. It will shine to those just right to grow and to develop that. With all the devotions, according to the teaching in the Buddhas, we cannot get perfect realizations. It's all kind of become almost kind of like dry. But the warmth of the sunlight of the blessings of your devotion invoked, or what you invoked by the devotion, it really makes completely perfect, beautiful growth, bring the development. So therefore, this is so, devotion is so important. And this also not just that devotion is the only one important. This is his Holiness Dongyal Rinpoche, chapter Dongyal Rinpoche also here clearly say, is one of the treasures of the practitioners. Treasures. The wealth of the practitioners. Those practitioners who are seeking to reach enlightenment or reaching to get some higher realization, achievement, not just only intellectual levels, but something the heart level, that kind of something that we can rely, we can trust. Now, in the future, or when we departed in this world, we can trust. So this treasure, the wealth we need. If we don't have this wealth, what will happen? Then we become the power eaters, poor, pathetic. Then it kind of dries up. We lost our resources. So therefore, this is one of the first important wealth of the practitioners. Then, second, when we gather the virtues of the morality, what here, his own Dudjom said, chapter Dudjom said. The next page, love and affection for the Samaya brothers and sisters. This is second wealth, second treasures of the practitioners. That means is love and affections, respect and appreciations. Respect and appreciations generally for all the beings. And again in the here again in the teaching said, and said, love and affection for Samaya brothers and sisters. Samaya is of course teachings of the Vajra teaching terminology. Samayas, we bonded with one Samayas. That means we bonded one Samaya in one mandala, or one circle. Circle of the mandala of the deities. Or in this case, we all bonded one circle of the mandala of the Padma Samye and the Buddha Shakyamunis. We are circled within that frame. in that one circles, we bounded. So that is known as the bounded Samayas. Then, in the general Buddha teaching, or the Gohen Garba Tantra particularly in the teaching said, there is 5 principal Samayas. Generally, all the Samayas are similar. Those are Samayas we discussed earlier. Those are the general Samayas. So the 5 Dhyana Buddhas, and as well as the Samayas of the 14 downfalls, and big ones that we chant when we do the stainless or 10th day in the Dakini Puja. Puja, those we chant, those are all Samayas. But then, going by teaching also mentioned slightly different way. Actually, it's the same, slightly different ways. And those are in it. I just have listed those 5. 5 are. First one is always honor the supreme ones. Second is respect the teachers. And then third one is never stopping the mantra and the mudras. And fourth is love for all the beings, particularly those who are in the path. Fifth one is cigarette never revealed. Cigarette never revealed. Those are the 5 principal Samayas of this. First, those 5, first I will briefly talk that. First one is never give up the supreme ones. What are supreme ones? Supreme ones, realization of the true nature of the inner Tantra or Vajrayana teaching, as we talking of the 3 Vajra states. All the relative truth is enlightened states, and male and female Buddhas. And the absolute level, everything is in great emptiness. That is, also these 2 are never separate from each other in a great union status. So therefore, we keep the view of the Vajrayana. That is first important. Keep the view, keep the realization of that. Second one, really respect the teachers. There is generally many different teachers, but again, if you can summarize the teacher, according to Vajrayana teaching, or in inner Tantra teaching, the teacher, one who gives the empowerment, instruction, with instruction or the explanation, and those are known as then root teachers. Or other day I mentioned also also in Gohen Garba Tantra mentioned qualification of the teachers add qualifications. I mentioned other days. And those are again the treasure, keeping the 3 treasures. One who keep the 3 treasures means the will, meditation, and the Samayas, the one teacher who is keeping. At the same time, all the lineage teachings, empowerment are also hold, and also that those are the 4. And then fifth one is one who is also very responsibility to keeping up the teaching and lineage teaching and honoring those exactly as should be, and also very thoughtful and helping to those who are kind of students or who are kind of as an audience. So always thoughtful. And then also have the 6th one is one who is also give the instructions and the explanations of the tantras. And the 7th is one who has also knowledge and of the mudras and the mandalas and the ceremonial systems, also knows all that. And the 8th one is one who has some realization in the heart or realization in the mind, as Vajrayana teaching. So those are known as the qualification of the masters. If those individuals have had that qualifications, they are the perfect teacher. I'm talking perfect. If they have perfect of those areas, they have the perfect teachers. Perfect teachers. If they are not, then again, of course, the ordinary teachers Maybe not necessarily all of those, but love and compassion, honesty, and keeping the practice up, and the best capabilities in what they're talking, also keeping that practice themselves as like their practice. Those are the generally like the sign or qualification of the teachers. So that kind of a teacher then always honor, respect, and the teacher is so important. What the greatest teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni said in Paramita teaching, you should have always a teacher until you reach enlightenment. Teacher always need it. Teacher need a teacher. And a student need teacher. And a student become teacher, and they should also become the teacher and teach to the others. This is the chain of lineage of the teachings or the disciples continually carried. Light or the torch of the wisdom and the compassion that continually handed over from the 2,600 years ago until now, our lineage and the connected teaching. And that therefore lineage is important. Lineage is not lineage of the kind of some different system, custom of the way how to take the advantage of others, these and that things, or to gain your profit or benefit. But this lineage is the lineage of love, kindness, compassion, egolessness, free from the self-importance. That is true lineage. That continually carried. All those great masters in the teaching often said, the chain of the golden mountains, stainless chain of the golden mountains. If we look at those golden mountains of the chain, one gold looks more glorified, more beautiful than others, and when you look at the others, also like that. One after another. Everyone each is in a unique state. Those great masters, really filled with love, compassion, kindness. The heart is filled with that. The realization is that is what they are. They are and carried in all of that. And at the same time honor the teaching as core of their heart in their breathing or lives, and continue to preserve and carry that. So that teaching is honor. That here, sit here. What's it? Yeah, so that is the Gohenga, I'm talking this Gohenga. And the next one is then mudras and the mantras never stop. That means that accordingly your promised the daily practices, weekly practices, monthly practices, what are you committed trying to keep those up? Commitment is so important. According to Buddhism or in Buddha's teaching, commitment is really important. If we miss the commitment, if we kind of let it fall down, commitment, then we could lose it. That adopted habit pattern in the teaching said it will it created the habit patterns, and then it could reoccur one after another. Then it becomes truly loser. Then soon we will blame to ourselves, blame to the other, and blame to give other practices. Then we become lost. And then we broke all the Samayas, the vows, all that. We deceived all the beings of a sentiment, all the beings. We sponsor upon we tell the Bodhicitta vow, oh, I'm going to help you, oh, I'm in your service for all until I reach enlightenment. Not just that, until you all reach enlightenment, I'm going to benefit and help. I'm in your service. I follow the footsteps of the Buddha, all that. We say that clearly, loaded with a clear mind and not pressured by someone or forced by someone. Our own heart, we say that. And now we're being up there. Many times that happened, unfortunately, in the past, in the ancient time or in Tibet, and now too. That is just a really loser. Failures, breaking Samayas, breaking rules, vows, creating such heavy karmas, according to Buddhism. Or we believe the law of karma and the cause and effect. But believe, whether we believe or not believe, doesn't matter. It is really a rule of guidelines. For example, when we take the poison, whether we believe or not believe in that poison, it will hurt us. Whether we know or not knowing, if we take the poison, it will hurt. That is what it is. So, therefore, that we should always
keep our promise as much as we can. If somehow we miss those things, then do those Vajra Sattva practice in the Vajrayana teaching. So powerful, those with 4 powers, practice, restore. Negative has no good qualities in a teaching set. But one good quality is we can purify. Purify with mindfulness. Purify that with the thoughtfulness. Purify with the consciousness or alertness. With the knowledge, we purify. Then it's cleansed and purified. That's what great Master Nagarjuna said in his letter to friends. Once you become the unmindfulness and lost the attention or lost the attention with many mistakes, but once you gain the mindfulness, alertness, consciousness, then it will become clear away. And looked at in his teaching, he said, look to the life story of the Angulamalas and Ajaykshatras, the one who killed his own fathers. But when he recognized and when he did to the purification, they all got the good result, good realization, one after another. This is just examples of that. So therefore, this, and then so therefore, again, I'm sorry, I'm kind of a little bit scattered that, and then that's always he said. Next one is next one in Goya Garba. The one with the point I think I listed to you, and one is the point is affection and love to all the brothers and sisters. And that is generally in the teaching set. More kind of in commentary level, there is, I think, 4 different brothers and sisters. General brother and sister, and then in the inner brother and sisters, and then close brother and sisters, very intimate brother and sisters. What are those? The general brother and sister is all the sentient beings. Everyone is our brother and sisters. As you remember, in the Buddha teaching, he said that all living beings are upon our mothers or parents. Similarly, they also been our brothers and sisters. So all brothers, sisters, so it means the love and the compassion and bodhicitta and compassion to all the brothers and sisters generally. So all sentient beings. Then inner brothers and sisters is all the Buddhist practitioners. Doesn't matter whichever Buddhist schools you belong. And love and affections to all these brothers and sisters. Then close brothers and sisters is all the practitioners of the Vajrayana Sangha members. Everyone. Or anyone who follows the similar path. That is it. Close brothers and sisters. Intimate brother and sister is the one who is within the one mandala, receive the one initiation or empowerment, receive the teaching, and pith instructions, and doing the Gana Chakra ceremony togetherness in one mandalas. Those are known as intimacy brothers and sisters. These intimate brothers, according to teaching, brothers and sisters, is not just now, but we will be, according to teaching, we will be continuing until to reach enlightenment. And go until we reach enlightenment through love, life after life, according to teaching. Therefore, it's so important to be respect, appreciation, politeness, and kindness, and love and affections, or bodhicitta and affections. So that is what is, if we do that, that is one of the treasures. Second treasures, second wealth of the practitioners, as in the teaching that Dudjom said. And the third one here in this text, then is bodhicitta compared toward all mother sentient beings. That we discussing now. I don't have to talk more. You all know. You all remember that. It's a bodhicitta for all the sentient beings. How? With the poor boundless. With the poor boundless and for those only practice. Equalizing, exchanging, others are more important than ourselves. those attitudes, really keeping in heart as much as we can. That is one of the treasures of the practitioners. Then fourth one is component things are impermanent. Everything is impermanent. There's nothing is existing forever. It's all impermanent. That we discuss a lot, so I'm not going to talk now anything more than that. But you know all that. But these four treasures, and we have these four treasures, or these pith treasures, the including of the devotions, our Dharma practice will remain so strong, so beautiful, so fresh, it's not going to expire. Many times our practices are almost kind of expiring. Expired, that is getting, date of the expiring is getting close and close, almost fading. Why? We are shortening of these treasures, this wealth. This is really. And so therefore if we keep that, and this also, for example, this fourth one, this encompass what's called, in the Dudjom, grasping due to knowledge that all component things are impermanent. All component things are impermanent. This is, of course, reduce the grasping. That is one. But also the time is short. Time is not going to stay forever, waiting us. Well, there is a bus we have to catch. Bus is not going to wait for us. It lives in every time. But if we miss that path, we miss it. Time is like that. Time is like roller coasters. It's moving. When time is moving, out time is moving, inner time is clicking. Clicking is changing, one after another. Well, every opportunity, every circumstance is in our favor of the impermanent, that the time we should take advantage. If we do that, we will be the winner. Really, we will be the winner. We follow in the footsteps of the greatest teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, and all the other enlightenments. And that's how they all achieved their final realization. Like which fulfilling jewel. The jewel that fulfilled all their wishes, and also jewel that was fulfilling all the wishes of other sentient beings without any discriminations. That is what it really is. So that's my teaching, and then so this is my teaching, and then of course we continue the next time. But again, I think maybe I just tell here that announce here, and we are going to stop, have break for 6 days. I think 1 week until this following Sunday. Sunday we're going to say, following Sunday is Dakini Day, and we're going to do Dakini Puja. I think that's exactly what we did before. And it starts 2:30, and we do the Dakini Puja of the Hizun Dunjurum, which is Khenpo Tsewang practices. So if you like to join that time, we join, and we all do Dakini Puja that day. And then after the Dakini Puja, and then again around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I give again told some of those what we have continued. I will continue to go over these teachings, and that. So that is our announcement, right? Our announcement, and then plus I just thought that what's called his name? Yeah, that's it. And then also the same time, that means we are all going to have short breaks. We are going to have a little break of our retreat now, and also that means you will have a little break for your this retreat for short time. And of course, we should continue to our practice, personal daily practices, all that we should continue to keep. So that means also we will have the break. That means that I'm going to also have the break for 6 weeks, and as well as the Lama Trapa and the Lama Laya, they also will have some break for 1 week, about 6 days. And after that, then of course we will announce to you too, but then we resume for maybe another 5 or 6 days. We see how things goes. And I hope everything really goes well. Everything will completely change as spring comes. And so everything kind of more open and everything really we wish and pray. And we all our practice the meditation we're dedicating for that reason and for that purpose to everyone, every levels. Okay. Thank you so much everyone for participating again, for coming, and thank you everyone. Thank you. Now we do a short meditation again. It's later on the time, but that's the sort of thing.